Tim, I got a question. Good evening, everybody that may be tapping into the YouTube land or tapping in tomorrow. Tomorrow, go ahead and do a late night weekend chart prep. I got my late night um slow jams radio disc jockey voice going on. You're now in tune to the Quiet Storm with Freddie Cruz. Hey now, Billy Nee. I ain't never seen a name before, Billy Nee. Billy Nee. If this ain't your first time tuning in, Billy Nee, I jollipies, but that's my first time seeing that name. So welcome, Billy Nee. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get right into it. Again, for the gang that's in the Discord, y'all can see my screen, right? Let me check that. Make sure y'all can see my screen. Yeah, my weekend was good. Little Hawk, I just chilled out, relaxed all weekend. I think we went crazy in the Discord with the two study sessions that we did. How y'all feel about that? Who on here was in the study sessions? If you was on the study sessions, put a one in the chat if you was in the study sessions. And if you in the Discord and you was on the study sessions, let me know if y'all found some value. Did you enjoy it? Was it, what I'm saying, was it like a worthwhile trader mode? Got the one in the chat. Was it like a worthwhile experience? Did y'all get anything out of it? Let's go ahead and jump to the monthly chart while we're doing this. Calio put the one in the chat. It was great. Appreciate that. Very worthwhile. Appreciate that. We're gonna go to the monthly chart and we're gonna look at these candles and see what the candles telling us. Yeah, man. So we see that on the monthly and we are looking at the ES, by the way. Lil Hawk said, "What spider gonna drop the recording?" I think D was recording. Lil Hawk. I think Tish was recording. It was a couple people that was recording because I dropped yeah. I put this is what I use to record my screen. Hey, why is it not scrolling? Nope, I guess I didn't put it there. Was it in the voice chat? I didn't put it. Where did I put it? Was it announcements? It wasn't announcements. Yeah, where did I put it? Oh yeah, it is right there. Right there. Yeah. I was saying it ain't gonna be recorded, but here's the software I use. And this is what I use. I use Streamlabs OBS. All right. When you click it, it automatically downloads. So I done set up then down. So when you click that, it automatically downloads the file. Right. I just found it out. I thought it takes you to the page, but it automatically downloads the file. And then it's right there. Streamlab OBS, that's the one I use right there. So you go in and you set it up. And then I think it was D that I was walking through how to set it up, and then she figured it out. She was able to record her screen. So now on the pop-ups that I don't record, you'll be able to record the screen if you want to go back and re-look at it. Yeah, man. All right. Put y'all back over there. So we see that we are delivering from this BISI, this February BISI. All right. For those who can't see it, I'm going to mark it out like just like that. Back during this time, like March, the end of March, we were saying we're anticipating price to draw back into this BISI. And what's up, E-Rock? Draw back into this BISI and then may proceed higher. because we said the monthly time frame was bullish, and we was looking for it to draw back into this BISI, then proceed higher. We have done that. We've drawn back into the BISI, and we have taken out the high. Okay, so now what are we looking for on the monthly time frame? We are looking on the monthly time frame for the willingness of the monthly. What did it say? Oh, that's something else. I scrolled back too far. I scrolled back too far. Um, we are what we look for on the monthly time frame is looking for the willingness of the monthly to create a fair value gap off of this BISI right here. Now, can anyone tell me what would be a hint that we could possibly be creating a fair value gap off of this BISI based off of what price has done thus far? What would we be looking for to give us a hint that the monthly chart may possibly be wanting to form a fair value gap after delivering from this BISI right here? Right. Thus far, it hasn't given it to us, because in April, we retraced back into the BISI. Now, what would we be looking for as a clue that price would want to create a new fair value gap? What will we need to see on the monthly time frame within the next 1, 2, 3 trading days? Right? Because today has already started. Then after today, it'll be 1, 2, 3 more days. So over the next 4 days, what will be no takers? No takers? No takers? How about somebody unmute? I'm gonna call somebody name. Rhonda. What we'll be looking for as some kind of clue that the monthly chart may be wanting to create a fair value gap off of this.
Would the monthly candle need to go lower to actually create a fair value gap?
You're on the right path. Talk about the monthly candle. So it don't matter if it go lower or higher. What would we need this monthly candle to do to give immediate rebalance? And we didn't close under it. So if the monthly candle closes above with displacement, very good, Iraq already answered it. We would need the monthly candle to close above the high or below the low of this candle for it to even be a possibility of creating an imbalance. Right? You need to, and it's on any time frame. This is on any time frame when you're watching price, right? And you're coming from an anticipatory reactionary point, right? You want to see a market to show you willingness to do what that anticipatory reactionary point is designed. What in the world is that on my screen? What in the world is? Hold on for a second. What's going on my? I got a little red. I got a little red. It's got this weird little red half. Whoa. I hope ain't something wrong. I hope ain't nothing wrong with my monitor. Y'all hold on for a second. Let me see something. Let me see something. Wait a minute. Yes, I can see it on there. I can see it on there too. Can y'all see that little? Yeah, y'all can see it. Y'all see that little red thing on my screen right there? What in the world is that? I really hope ain't nothing wrong with my monitor. How do I turn these monitors off? I don't know how to turn these monitors off. What in the haberdashery and hemoglobin going on, mama? Y'all hold on for a second, man. That's gonna drive me crazy now. That's not. Yeah, that's in the. Oh my god, what is this? Oh, that's gonna drive me crazy. I really hope them ain't no dead pixels in my monitor. I'm sorry about that, y'all. Let me get back to what I was doing. I really hope them ain't no dead pixels in my monitor. Cause I ain't had these monitors that long. I haven't had these monitors that long for there to be dead pixels on it like that. What was I saying? What was I saying? What was I talking about? That's really under my skin right now. Mm, where was I? Somebody help me out. What was I talking about? I can't remember what I was talking about. Okay, but um, so we delivering from the monthly fair value gap, and we've come back up and we've taken out the high. And oh, that's what I was talking about. Whenever you have price, whenever you're delivering from an anticipatory reactionary point by, like, just say this fair value gap right here, right? So we was looking for price to retrace back down into the fair value gap and then proceed higher. Okay, price is doing that right now. Now, what you want to see, the job of this fair value gap right here is to push price higher. All right. Now, depending on what you run into going higher, right, is going to let you know what price wants to continue to do. Okay. So in this case, pulling back into this fair value gap right there, right? The only thing above it, right, was the high, right? That's the only thing above price on the monthly. We're at all-time high, so there's nothing over here for us to look to, right? So the only PD array above this fair value gap was that high right there. Now we've hit that high, right? We've hit that high. There's nothing up here for us to look toward. Now the only thing we can do is see how do we react when we come off of this, right? So how does the market show you, right, which way it wants to go? It shows you that through displacement, right? Yes, these monthly candles, so it take a long time for these candles to form, but you can do this on any time frame. So through displacement, this fair value gap is designed to push price up. So when we leave this fair value gap, right, we are looking to see if the market wants to create fair value gaps. I know this is ugly, right? We want to see if the market wants to create fair value gaps to the upside. And what's the first clue that it wants to create a fair value gap, right? If now we touched it, now this candle is going up. If this candle closes above this high, right? It don't matter if we wick all the way up there and then close here. We just want to see if it closes above this high, right? Then that leaves a possibility of creating a fair value gap. Does that mean the fair value gap is going to be created? No, it don't. But that is just showing you that there is a possibility there to create a fair value gap if this candle closes above this high, because the fair value gap is a 3 candle pattern. That'll be 1, 2, and then once we get a candle, let's just say if this candle was to go up, we're just gonna say if this candle was to come up and form like this, right? If this candle was to come up, right, and form like that, right, then we have the possibility of having a fair value gap of at least this size. That's giving us a possibility to have a fair value gap of at least that size, because this candle's, it closed that far above this candle's high. So when the next candle open, you'll be watching, do we wick back down and overlap this candle's high, or do we just continue up and close higher and create that fair value gap? So that's how, and it goes in the opposite way too. So if you come to this area, right, and this bullish fair value gap doesn't create a BISI, and then we start sliding down and create a SIBI, then you will be looking for this fair value gap. Uh-oh, I ain't on the pencil no more. You will be looking for this fair value gap to act as an inversion fair value gap. If you were to come down, like just say if we didn't form a fair value gap here, right, we go up and just say we don't close above this high, we don't close above that high, and we just close there for on the month, right, and then we come down, right, and create a SIBI right here, right, then you would anticipate price coming back up either to that SIBI and dropping, right, or even coming back up and using this as an inversion fair value gap and dropping, right? That's just what you would anticipate. Not saying that it has to happen, but that's what you would be looking at. Why? Because this fair value gap did not create a fair value gap going up, and then it got inverted, right? So now you'll be looking at it as an inversion fair value gap, and then with the possibility of coming at least down into the discount into this area here, where we got this bullish order block here, 3 candle bullish order block there. You'll be looking for it to possibly retrace back down into the discount into the order block right there. Okay, I was still in the reading price action mode from the study halls that we was doing. If I went too far into depth on that, I jalapies. Yeah. So we're delivering from the monthly fair value gap, and we have taken out the high, right? We've taken out the monthly high, which was, is it raining out there? Is that rain? Yes, that's rain. Y'all hold on for 1 second, cause my son, he told me he was going somewhere when he got off from work, and he been gone a real long time. And he is showing he on Buena Vista. Is he at the? Is he at a restaurant somewhere? Cause off the road. Y'all hold on for a second. Calandra. All right, y'all. I'm back. Yeah, yeah, so we took out that monthly high, which was there. Right. We took out the monthly high, which was there. So now we've come to another anticipatory reactionary point. So this is where we want price to tell us what it wants to do, right? We don't get into the habit of trying to short all-time highs. We don't get into the habit of trying to call tops, right? We just read price and trade it accordingly, right? Read price and trade it accordingly. So now let's move down to a weekly because there's nothing else that I want to mark on the monthly because we've accomplished both of our monthly goals that we had set back in March. At the end of March, should I say, and that was to come back to this fair value gap from February and then attack this buy side, and that's done. So now let's go to the weekly and look at the weekly time frame. Where did that box go? It is raining real hard out there. Y'all hold on for a second. Yeah. All right. I had to check on my son, y'all. He ain't far. He right up the street. Um, uh, I'm like my daddy instinct done kicked in. I ain't even focused on what I'm doing right now. Monthly fair value gap. Okay, so let's go down to the weekly. All right, so on the weekly, we're looking at the weekly. Um, let's see what the weekly is telling us. Okay, so like this right here, this is what I was just talking about on the monthly. Okay, this is what I was just talking about on the monthly. So when we came down into on the weekly chart, when we came down into the monthly fair value gap right here, right? The on the weekly, you can see that we reached down. Let me put a line here. We reached down into we went down inside this weekly fair value gap right there, respecting it. Came down into something on the daily, obviously, up in this area right there, because there's a wick there. So you notice a lot of stuff going on a daily time frame. Whatever we came to on a daily, we'll look at that later. I'm gonna leave that line there. Okay. So once we came down there, this candle here, we started moving up, right? Now, notice what the next candle did, right? This candle started moving up. We're trading off of this monthly fair value gap. The very next candle closed above the high of this candle, right? Leaving the possibility of creating a BISI that big, right? Now, the next candle, the next candle traded back down, but it didn't get all the way down to the high of this candle here. So that gave us a BISI that big. So we created a BISI that big. So now this candle closed above the high of that candle right there, right? Giving us a possibility of creating. Yeah, hold on. Yes. Hello? Yeah. I'm gonna try to wait, see if it slow down before I go in. Before you go in, oh, Hey, y'all, I'll be back in 1 second. And yeah, yes. And over there by the old sports no, page. Watch it. Over there by the Walgreens, the old sports page. What's called? Yeah, that is the sports page. The bar? Yeah, the bar. Oh, with the weird fonts and the black. It's an Outcast now. Somebody used to the sports page. Well, I'm sure you got that. It's like I look, which is like a blur. And driving on Buddha Vista because the ground got no reflector, so it's just straight through. But on the the highway is fine. Yeah, and that's why it is nighttime and rain. That's why I'm like, what Tim did? What Tim did? He's like, yeah, you was like, I'm going to Target, and then I'm like, you got to move with a purpose and communicate, son. You can't be, because we know how long it takes to do stuff in the city. And then when I don't hear from you in a couple hours, then now I'm on high alert now. Okay, everybody, I'm back. Now, yeah, but y'all get the picture, right? It gave a potential to make a fair value gap that big. Then this counter retraced back down, but we ended up with a fair value gap this big on this weekly candle. Then the same thing there. The next one, it closed above here. So now we got the potential, you know what I'm saying, to have a BISI that's that big right there. This candle retraced in even further. So now looking at what the candles are doing, this candle retraced in, this candle retraced in, this candle retraced in further. So it's like it's starting to look like it's tell Tim communicate exactly. It's starting to look like it's getting weak at this high. Right, this is looking like this run is starting to get weak now. That doesn't mean, oh yeah, we're going to go short and drop to the depths of Hades. No, because we can come up here and just slide to the right. You know what I'm saying? But if you notice, like the candles, once we got this thrust here, this candle did, we got this thrust. Like we had a real strong candle, pulled back, soaked up a lot of liquidity and took off, right? Because this candle expanded, and now this candle didn't expand. It took sales, I took buy side and retraced deeper than either one of these candles did, right? This candle didn't retrace as deep as this candle did. This candle didn't retrace as deep as this candle did. So it's like the retracements are getting deeper, and this one didn't expand. So we're at an anticipatory reactionary point on the monthly and the weekly. So right now the weekly is, I would say, neutral at this point. Long term bullish, but short term neutral. Why do I say that? Because this candle right here didn't give us any indication. This is almost a doji, right? So last week we almost had a doji. So that's why I say it's neutral. Didn't give us any indication of what it wants to do, right? It ain't giving us, I want to go up or go down. It's just giving, holding the road. Now, one thing it did do was create a weekly fair value gap, right? One thing it did do was create a weekly fair value gap. So we will mark that and monitor accordingly for the weekly. So for the weekly, we are going to mark out this weekly fair value gap. And then we are going to mark out the weekly high and low. We're currently flirting around the old monthly high. So we're going to mark out the weekly high and low. Box top week. I went outside to take an umbrella to Timothy, and now I got, my ankles are wet and I got lotion on my legs, so my ankles feel like mad slippery right now. Box bottom week. All right, so we're marking out the weekly high and low. All right, so yeah, that's all I want to mark out on the weekly. Not gonna bother marking out this weekly breaker over here, and the reason why I'm not gonna bother marking out this weekly breaker is because we haven't traded away from it. We just created it and just kind of hanging here. Once this candle here traded up there above these candles here, now we've created it and we're just kind of hanging right here doing nothing. So I'm not marking it out. I'm not marking out this bullish breaker, you know what I'm saying, yet, because we haven't traded away from it, right? For on the weekly time frame. That's why I'm just marking out the stuff that I can see some type of, I want to see some type of reaction out of. Okay. And then we got this huge bullish order block there. And the last down close candle of that is down here in line with this fair value gap. So let's see if that will put us in a discount. Yes, coming back to opening price there, that will put us into a discount of this entire move. Right. So just monitor. That's all I'm monitoring for right now. Want to see how price reacts to this. The reason why I'm marking out this one is because I want to see if it gets disrespected. If we start to disrespect this, then I'll be looking for price to dig down into these imbalances down here to try to move back into a discount on the weekly. Right. So we come down and disrespect this, get a closure below that, create an inversion fair value gap. I'll be looking for price to come down to dig down into the lower imbalances down here. But just monitoring for now, because there's nothing above price except for highs, right? Nothing above price except for highs. And we've already delivered to the highs on the monthly, right? So now that we've delivered to the highs on the monthly, you know, I would like to see if we're going to get an immediate retrace into this, or will we take the high again and then come down, right? Because if we do that, if we take the high again and come down, then you know we have to see what price action gives us over here to see if we're you know more bullish or more bearish if we do that. But right now, just trying to see what we do with this weekly, because the weekly is just acting neutral. It's not giving us anything, right? Only thing I can say it did, right, is that we got a strong rejection off of taking that high. So that strong rejection off of taking that high makes me want to look lower, right? That strong rejection makes me want to look lower. But since we made like this doji, that's just neutral. That's just neutral. And that's a neutral candle, but we did create a bullish fair value gap. So it's like we're in the middle of the road. We are still and look at that. When I say middle of the road, look at where we are as far as the weekly range. Right in the middle of the road. We closed. This candle closed right in the middle of the road, right? Of the weekly range, closed right in the middle. 50% of the weekly range. Right? That's crazy. All right. Let's go to the daily. All right. My son drive me crazy and they yelling, acting all crazy playing this game. All right, so again, we are looking at the daily. On the daily, um, it started to flesh out. From the monthly, we can actually see a market maker buy model from the daily. Why is that? Because we're 2 time frames down, right? Y'all already know what I talked about. If y'all don't remember me saying it before, y'all know during the study hall, we went very into detail about this because I was studying the price the way I always study price for me, not just from trying to share it with a mentee. So we talked about my 2 time frame down way of looking at price and studying market maker models. And on the monthly, we said that we anticipated price to retrace back into this BISI, right? And then come up there. So anytime we're looking at a retracement and delivery, a retracement period, but anytime we're looking at a move in price, the time frame that we're looking at that move on, right? If you go at least 2 time frames down, if you don't know what I mean, 2 time frames down, here's the setup. So you got 1 minute, 5 minute, 15, 1 hour, 4 hour, daily, weekly, monthly. So we're on the monthly. If we go 2 time frames down, 1, 2, that'll be a daily. If you go 2 time frames down, you'll be able to see a market maker model 2 time frames down. And that's what we drew out on the monthly time frame. And if you look right here on the daily, right, see we consolidated there, right, move down, consolidated there, move down, reversed here, right, low risk short, reaccumulation, and then made it back to there, right? Right. So in actuality, the other side would have been, God dog it, I did it again. I hit the thing and went over to the NQ. Okay. So actually the other side, we would have had our niche consolidation, right? Our distribution there, right? We came down, smart money reversal, our low risk buy there, first stage accumulation, second stage accumulation, right? And then coming to the top right there. And we've completed a market maker buy model. Oh, God dog it. On the daily, right? So 2 time frames down, at least 2 time frames down, you'll be able to see a market maker model flesh out. And now we've completed a market maker model on the daily, and now we're stabbing back into a higher time frame PD array, right? We've come back up taking out that monthly high that we was anticipating price to go to. So now that we've stabbed into that on the daily, now we are looking for, do we get a the start of a market maker sell model, right? And what could that possibly look like, right? That could possibly look like we came now. These are the possibilities, right? We took out the buy side there, we pulled down, we stabbed into the buy side again, then we came down, right? This right here could very well be our smart money reversal right there. And then a retracement back up could very well be our low risk short, right? Now, we could also look at this whole move as taking out the buy side and then pull down, right? Maybe even get a failure swing, right? And come down and create a mitigation block, right? Or we can go up, take out the high again, right? Come down and create a breaker, okay? And that could be the start of a market maker sell model. But that all comes from waiting at the anticipatory reactionary point for price to tell us what it wants to do. And remember, these are daily candles, so we could, if price moves fast, we could find out in 1, 2, maybe 2 or 3, maybe 3 days. If price moves super fast, say we stabbed up there one day, came down here another day, came down there another day, right? Over the 3 days, we could find out. Price moves slow, right? That might take us, take us the rest of the week to find out. But let price show you what it wants to do here on a daily time frame. Right? We have come down. We've hit the monthly high. Right? We've hit the monthly high, delivering from this busy. Right? We are delivering from this daily busy right here. Tim, why do you say that? I'm glad you asked that question, even though no one asked it. Because right here on the 17th of May, we traded back into this busy, and then we pushed up and eventually took out the high. But when we delivered from that busy, if you notice, price still has not. This had a possibility of creating a busy, but it didn't, right? Didn't create a busy. Price traded up, didn't close above the high. Price traded down, didn't close below the low. Price traded up and down, right? Didn't close above the high, closed well below the low. Digging deeper into the busy right here, right? Digging deeper into the busy here, creating this weekly fair value gap that we marked out, right? And then we closed below consequent encroachment of this busy, right? But we did not create a SIBI because we had a potential to create a SIBI this big, but we immediately traded back up and did not create that SIBI, right? Did not create the SIBI, traded back up, came into this week that we're trading here so far on during Monday. We've pushed up the holiday trading. We've pushed up into this potential order block here, the last up close count of this potential order block here, but we still have not created a fair value gap to the upside off of this busy right there. So that's showing a little bit of weakness. That's that weakness from remember on the weekly that we talked about. We said the weekly was like kind of 50-50 in the middle of the road, not showing us much, seemingly weak, but not really giving us a clear direction, right? And then it plays out a little bit clearer on the daily, because coming from the daily, we're not creating fair value gaps coming off of this right here. We're not creating fair value gaps coming off of this right there. So this is seeming a little bit weak, because once we came up here and hit this, when we had this down close candle there, if we would have took off and expanded, this down close candle here could have been a bullish order block, right? If we would have taken off and went up there. Matter of fact, when we traded above that opening price right there, technically, you know what I'm saying, it was already in the makings of being a bullish order block, but because it's not fitting with how price should act when it's creating a bullish order block, then right now it's not a bullish order block, right? And so now we're coming down and we're just, just showing a tad bit of weakness on the daily. And so that's why I say waiting to see if this is the beginning of the reversal of a market maker sell model. And if this does turn out to be a market maker sell, if this candle right there turns out to be the smart money reversal, right? Everything on this side of this market maker sell model, I'll be looking for a reason to take a short. Like everything on the right side, just like in a market maker buy model, everything on the right side of a market maker buy model, how we came down here, everything on this side, you're looking for a reason to buy until you get back to the initial consolidation, right? So if this turns out to be the smart money reversal, everything on this side, you're looking for a reason to short until you get back to the initial consolidation, right? Which would be these lows here and ultimately those lows there. And looking at where it came to on the daily, we came down to a bullish order block right here on the daily, right there. When I said we're gonna find out where we went to on them, out like those are wicks, and on wicks have a story on the lower time frames. So we came down into a bullish order block right there. Look like it's roughly around mean threshold of a bullish order block. Yep, very close to it. Didn't quite get to it. If we go body to body, not including the wick, the same thing, very close to it. Let's do the whole order block. Let's see what happened there. Let's do the entire order block. Right. There you go. Just below mean threshold. Whoop, there go your mohawk on the entire order block, just below mean threshold to take it back up. Just like that. Oh my goodness, this stuff really does work. It really is true. It really is an algorithm. Oh my goodness, I've been converted. I'm going to be in the book of Clarence. Okay, so on the daily, we've taken out the daily high from Friday. All right, this is our daily high. We've taken out Friday's daily high already with the holiday price. I don't know if we did it Sunday night or today. So, earlier today, should I say? I don't know if we did it Sunday night or today or after Sunday night, Monday morning, or after 6 p.m. I don't know when we did it, but we've taken it out. Just like that. And then this candle right here, we didn't make a wick. We just opened up and went up. Opened up at 6 o'clock and went straight up. There's no bottom wick on the, or shadow, as they can be called also. Tail, shadow, box bottom, day. Let's since we so far away from this monthly, I don't really need that on there. I could take that off. Don't need this on there where that served its purpose. Don't need this monthly. Don't really need this monthly because we've hit it. We know that that's the high over there. I don't need the line there to remind me. Let's go to the 4 hour and then we're gonna call it after that. And I'll open it up if anybody got any questions or anything. Okay, so let's squanch it up a little bit again. So from the weekly, right? If you look at the weekly, right? So on the weekly, we have created a fair value gap here, right? So we created a fair value gap there, and we have engaged the high, and we're rejecting off the high, right? So follow me here. Follow me here. This candle, right, from last week's price action, created a bullish fair value gap and rejected off the high, right? So if we create a bullish fair value gap and then reject off the high, then we could possibly retrace back down into that fair value gap, right? Why? Because actually the low of this the low discounter came up and took us up to that high, right? Then this candle here took us up to that high, but we keep like we rejected here. We pulled back toward the low of this candle, didn't get there, right? Created a fair value gap, and we rejected again. So now we can anticipate another pullback. What can we pull back to? Down to that fair value gap right there. Okay. Now, hope everybody follow me. Hope I ain't losing nobody, right? So we anticipate maybe pulling down to that fair value gap. Now we go 2 time frames down, daily, 4 hour. Right? So we go 2 time frames down. Okay. So now if we anticipate coming down to that weekly fair value gap, right? What can push us down there, right? We've come to this 4 hour SIBI right there, right? We've come to that SIBI right there. When we traded into that SIBI, we create a bullish fair value gap, right? So it says we created a bullish fair value gap trading into this SIBI, right? Now price is saying, I possibly want to continue up, right? What can we continue up to? We got a SIBI up here, right? On the 4 hour. We got a SIBI right there on the 4 hour. Okay. So now if we want to come down to that weekly fair value gap, it would be algorithmic to go up where there's the only imbalance that's above us on this time frame, right? Up to there, and then maybe attack that. Okay, since we anticipating maybe coming down to that. All right, so if we did that, went up there and pulled back down, makes sense. It's a 4 hour fair value gap, 4 hour bullish order block right there, right? Makes total sense. Okay. And if we squanch the chart up, right? If we squanch the chart up on the 4 hour, right? What does that look like? Right? And that could be this right here, could be the smart money reversal. That retracement back in, right? That could be the smart money reversal. Why could that be the smart money reversal? Because on this time frame, right here, this move right here gives us a bearish breaking market structure right there, right? We got a high, low, higher high. What's that the start of, right? That's the start of a bearish breaker. High, low, higher high, right? We run out the buy side, displace down, breaking market structure, right? What does that give us? That gives us a bearish breaker. There's our bearish breaker right there, right? So that's our bearish breaker right there. This is our bearish breaker, right here, like that. That's our bearish breaker. What does that also line up with? The 4 hour fair value gap that we was looking at, the 4 hour order block that we was looking at, right? It all matches up, right? It all matches up. The weekly time frame showing potential weakness, the 4 hour showing the potential to maybe be at the top of a market maker sell model. So if we see this start to play out in this, if we see this start to play out and we do get our smart money reversal up here, right? then we would know that we'll be on the right side of a market maker sell model. But again, we don't get into the habit of trying to short all-time highs. We wait for price to tell us what it want to do, and then if it start to play out algorithmically, then we execute and just trust the process. Uh, I'm open for anybody if they got any questions while I check the economic calendar. I'm checking on Forex Factory real quick. Um, Later today, we got consumer confidence at 10 a.m. All right. So, yeah, consumer confidence at 10 a.m. Um, Tomorrow, we don't have anything. Oh, Richmond Manufacturing Index. Uh, it's orange on here. We got GDP on Thursday at 8:30, along with unemployment claims. And we got pending home sales at 10 on Thursday. And Friday we got PCE. So we got some heavy news on Thursday and Friday. Today we got consumer confidence that can inject a little volatility, but the more heavy stuff is going to be on Thursday and Friday. All right. What you say over there, E-Rock? Man, I hate that on my screen. What you said over there, E-Rock? Uh, can we get the fancy Nancy for this area? I ain't have my fancy dancing on. I'm sorry, y'all. Uh, is it correct that the May 17th candle is a bearish order block because of May 23rd candle closed well below it? You said the May 17th candle? You said the May 17th candle? Okay, this May 17th candle right here. This is no. Now, this right here, the all three of these right here, right? All three of these, they have the potential to act as order blocks, right? One, because how this candle closed, right? The 23rd, how this candle closed down there, right? These are potential order blocks over there. Why? Because we came to an area of resistance, right? And then now we've started to displace in this direction. See, this candle here, depending on how price move, if price just drops from here, this can be seen as an immediate rebalance of this stopping this SIBI, right? This could be viewed as an immediate rebalance. And now the counter that we're working on now could just be coming back into the order block to drop. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I say it's got the potential to be an order block. But since we didn't get the imbalance there off of the 23rd closure, since we didn't get the imbalance, the 24th, we immediately took that away. So now I'm a little more skeptical as looking at this as an actual order block because the imbalance was taken away here, right? We don't have the institutional sponsorship yet, right? We started getting it, but then all of a sudden it reversed right there. So yes, you're looking at it correct. This would be your order block here. That like I would be wholeheartedly calling this an order block if this candle didn't come back in and stop this SIBI from being created. But since we stopped that SIBI, then I'm a little more leery of calling this an order block on this time frame, right? But it could very well act as an order block because this could just be acting as an immediate rebalance, which would be super bearish because you get the immediate rebalance, then price just falls out. So yeah, we just at that point where we got to let price tell us what it want to do. We don't want to just jump in front of nothing because it's, you know, giving us mixed signals right now. Giving us mixed signal, meaning, you know, we're not when we took this high and we took off and we closed below the mean threshold of this and we created this weekly fair value gap, we immediately turned around, right? So that's why I say mixed signals. And also, we trading into all of this over here that's supporting price, right? We got a whole lot of stuff over here that's supporting price. If you look over here, you know what I'm saying? Got a lot of stuff supporting price there. We got a whole mitigation block here, huge mitigation block really, but just look at the last up close candle right there. Got a mitigation block there. We have a breaker there, right? So we got a lot of stuff over here that's supporting price, right? Traded all the way back down into look like this order block right here. Did we trade back down into that? Got down into the wick of that. Yep, we got down into the wick of that one. Right, this has the highest, yes, for this move down, right? This right there was the last one right there. So, well, I'm tripping. I'm looking at the wrong freaking candles right there. I'm looking at the wrong candle. I'm looking at the green candles right there. There's your block there. And then we overlapping with a fair value gap there, right? So looking at the wick there, and we traded down into the bullish order block right there. So we got that bullish order block. We got that bullish breaker right there. We got that bullish mitigation block right there. Got a lot of stuff over there that we are competing with to try to come down to this area here, right? Got a daily fair value gap down there also. Anywho, that's gonna be it. Do anybody got anything else before I tap out? It's pretty late. Sorry for holding y'all this late, especially for those who got to get up and go to work in the morning. Okay. I don't see nothing in the chat and I don't hear anything. Anybody popping in the Discord. So we are going to go ahead and call it. I'm just putting I always move my lines to like the the very last candle down to the 1 minute. I don't know why I always do that. I be wanting to be like on the exact high and the exact low. I always do that. Move them to the exact high, then the exact low. All right, y'all. Real quick, why were you making the red candle a bullish breaker on a daily? Why was I making a red candle a bullish breaker on a daily? The bullish order block? I had a bullish order block and a bullish breaker. I had a bullish order block, a bullish mitigation block, and a bullish breaker. Right here. I came over here. What was I at? Yeah, right here. So this was the bullish order block here. And I mapped out the wick right there. Right. That was my bullish order block there. This wick was overlapping with that BISI right there. So I marked out the wick on that. So we came down into the wick of that bullish order block. And then we had a bullish breaker here. Right. This was a bullish breaker. Here we had a low, high, a lower low, right? That was our bullish breaker right there. And then this was our bullish mitigation block right there. Right there. Well, actually, that's a low high. That's actually a bullish breaker too. Oh no, that's a mitigation block. We got the high. They got the high, low, high, high. Right? Yeah. So we went there, 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 like that. Then we traded back up to it later, and then here, right? Went there with the breaker there. Yeah, that low, that high did not break a low, but this high did break a low. Yes. So that's your mitigation block. That's your breaker. But this red candle right there, if I said break, I'm sorry. I was talking about a order block, a bullish order block right now. If that's what you was talking about, that's the red candle I remember dealing with right there. But yeah, man. I'll see y'all in the morning at 9 for the overnight price action. Hopefully it give us something to talk about. If it don't do a whole lot, I don't plan on staying on there too long. Unless, price really give us something to like really dig, sink our teeth into. But y'all enjoy the rest of y'all night, man. Again, till the next time I decide to jump on algos and then to share my thoughts with this thing they call price action. Y'all be safe out in these strange streets, man. It's your boy Aranya Grande. I'm gone.